if you could, give us your name, who you're with, and what you do.
Hi, I'm Sarah Halpern. I'm Vice President of the Board of Directors for the Hawaii Geographic Information Coordinating Council. I'm also a geospatial scientist at SWCA Environmental Consultants.
Okay, great.
You might know some SWICA people.
I do actually know some SWICA people.
Or do we still call it SWICA?
I do hear SWICA, but within the company, everyone always refers to it as SWCA.
Okay. Sounds like a mouthful, but that first job was also a mouthful. So let's
Yes.
start there. So that's I've heard this acronym like 6 times already this morning. HIGC.
HIGICC.
HIGI. Yeah, they say it so fast. Talk a little bit about that. What's the organization and what's your role with it?
Yeah, so we are the Hawaii Geographic Coordinating Council once again. We're a local nonprofit that basically connects GIS professionals in the state of Hawaii. And so that's everything from networking events and pauhanas to just to meet people and talk story.
Real quick. Mainlanders here. What is
Happy
that?
hour.
We know that.
We now you're speaking our language.
Yes.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, fun networking events. We do trainings. Just last year, we did a training on a weekly content for training people to study for their GISP.
Okay. We talked a lot about that on the show.
Tony.
Yeah. We know Tony's speech. Yeah,
He's the one that did the training.
he's a friend of the program. Yeah, he's one of our sponsors.
Awesome. Uh, So we also do a lot of volunteer events. We do a GIS day with another local nonprofit, with a bunch of the schools in the area.
Love that. Talk a little bit. What's the GIS day like? Like, what do you guys do?
Last few years, it's been with STEMworks, it's another nonprofit.
Okay.
And they brought in middle schoolers from a couple different schools, and we did kind of a rotation of different events teaching the students about GIS. So I led a small drone, uh, I guess, presentation, and then we let them fly drones around the room, which was pretty chaotic.
Oh, I'm sure.
So tell me about that.
Well, we ended up with a lot of broken drones, I'll say that.
Okay. All right. No hair, no propellers in the hair.
Couple
Ah,
of those.
right. And so I'm guessing there's some tears and sounds like a normal work day, right?
Yeah, stress work days I've had actually, but it was a lot of fun, and I'm hoping that the kids got a lot out of it. So.
Well, I'm sure they do. I'm asking a question that I already know the answer to, but why would you do something like that with the middle school kids? What's the importance of that?
So that they're our future and they understand what we can do, especially coming from an environmental perspective of
Mm.
how we can use technology and the tools that we have today to help better our environment.
Do you they got it, or do you think you caught some kids?
So, I gave a presentation about remote sensing prior to the drone
Okay.
fun, and I think a lot of them picked up on, the idea of sensors and being able to see natural phenomenons from space.
Interesting.
And I'm sorry, how old are these kids?
They were around 12, middle school age.
Oh, that's fantastic. I wish I had stuff like that when I was 12.
Well, I know. I mean, we know a lot of the people and work with Get Kids into Survey, and it's the same kind of thing. Like, I wish those that would have been around my high school. So, how did you get into this business? What got you into the wonderful world of GIS?
Yeah, I've always been interested in geography.
Okay.
I come from an environmental science background, and I started working for SWCA, an environmental consulting company. And I noticed that there was a need for more GIS. And then I kind of started playing around with Trimble's and data collection, and I decided to go back to school, and I got a master's in GIS. Um,
Ooh.
And where'd you do that?
University of Southern California.
Oh, that sounds terrible.
Yeah. Right.
So you live in Hawaii and then you went to school in, Southern Cali.
Yeah, their program's actually remote, so I
Oh.
got to stay here.
How long have you been here?
10 years.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool.
All right.
Talk a little bit about this conference. I mean, obviously, the message of collaboration and working together. I mean, it seems like it checks a lot of boxes. But what was it like trying to put something like this in support, and what do you think people are getting out of it?
Yeah, it was a lot of hours put into it. But
Thank you for those hours.
Yes,
We understand what goes into this.
But I think that it's a really awesome opportunity, especially to connect GIS professionals and surveyors, which you mentioned earlier that a lot of times those are opposing views and they don't always work together. And so I think being able to understand where each side is coming from and the kind of work that each side is doing really helps us understand how we can do our work better. Like, for example, coming from a GIS side, knowing more about how solar radiation can affect the surveying and the GPS units, like that's applicable to the work I'm doing. So it's kind of nice to see both sides, and you don't always get that opportunity.
I just have to ask. So you've been doing GIS for an environmental firm for 10 years on, one of the most gorgeous places on earth. What is one of the most favorite projects you've ever got to work on? Something like fantastic, game changing, something cool. You mentioned
Um,
drones.
yeah, I have a lot of them. I've gotten to do some restoration on heiaus, which are Hawaiian sacred sites.
Ooh,
wow.
that's cool.
So they're usually a lot of times they're along coastal areas, and so sea level rise is happening and kind of breaking down a lot of these archaeological resources, and so being able to map them from space and then be able to have an archaeologist help with drawing what the original structure should look like and then building it to that.
See, like a lot of people don't realize that connection. And I guess that was because it brought me to another question about environmental scientists and in your experience, how many environmental people, that's what I call them. I have an environmental department and they're the environmental folks. How many of those use and understand the advantages of drones and everything geospatial?
I think it's getting better and better. I will say when I first started, there was definitely a disconnect. And now I think maybe just as technology is getting better, people are starting to appreciate it a little bit more and see that there's a lot of uses for it. There's a lot of ways to collect data that we can use for different types of analysis.
Do the kids coming out of school come in with a better understanding than the previous generation?
I teach GIS, so just remember
Yeah,
that
just
before
remember,
you
he's
answer the
he's sensitive
question.
audience here.
I think y'all might be able to answer that better than I can then.
We're failing. We need to do a better job.
Yeah, if Sarah doesn't see an immediate improvement, then obviously, Nick, you need to do a better
Yeah,
job.
I'll get back to you.
Fair, fair. All right. Hawaii bus just driven over me. Got it.
Right. So what else? What do you hope to get out of this week?
Well, I'm hoping we get some new members for HIGICC, and that we can all collaborate and meet the people we want to meet and get more jazzed about our everyday work.
Who's your ideal member?
Guess
A big, huge company that puts in a bunch of money and a bunch of people to volunteer more hours?
that would be a great sponsor. But
Shameless plug. It's okay to get used to it.
anyone that works in GIS that wants to meet other people that work in GIS is an ideal member.
That's awesome. Do you guys do any? I think you said nappy hours or like happy hours. Or
Yes.
You talking about Mappy Hour?
How often do you guys do those?
Try to do them every other month or so. We've kind of had our head down on the conference, but we're gonna have more events coming up over the spring and summer. So, and you get emails. We have a newsletter with all the job opportunities and volunteer opportunities and Auhanas.
And if somebody was interested, how could they find out some of that information? Is there a website with
Yes.
some letters in it?
Website is higicc.org.
Can you repeat that for us, Sean? What was that?
HIGACC. HIGICC.
HIGICC.
.org. Love it. Anything else you want to get out there?
No, thanks for being here.
We ask all our guests the question. We'll ask you this. Do you have a mantra that you live by?
That I live by. I think
or that you like and maybe aspire to live by. It's okay
Yeah.
to not be as virtuous
Or
as
if you
Nick
just know
here.
something witty you'd like to share, that's also okay.
Well, I'm a big believer in just having good energy and positive energy towards everything you do and everyone around you.
We concur. We also agree. Then that's a great thing to say. Sarah, absolutely appreciate you stopping by. Thanks for spending some time with us and enjoy the next couple days.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much.
All right, bye.
Yeah, that was fun.
Just like that.
And now you get one of these.
Podcast.
Now you're Geoholics.
My gosh, official.
You get to play really cool thing.
Wow.
Are you a GISP? Now you get one of these.
I